Yeah. Put it in there, yeah. That's
Thank you very
not
much.
Diana, she's very nice. She's from the president of the Borough Council there.
Yeah,
She's,
yeah.
Okay, Jerry, we're good. It's on.
She was Jerry's newest treasurer.
Oh, yeah, oh, okay.
Good evening and welcome to Park Summer Council meeting. April the 26th, 7 p.m. In attendance, we have Ms. Lopez. Present. Ms. Simrel. Present. Ms. Kehoe.
Here.
Mr. Beston's absent. Mr. Mitchell is absent. Mayor Kelly.
Here.
Mr. Jenkins.
Here.
Mr. Shields.
Here.
And Solicitor Hayes. Here. Thank you. First item on our work session is our public comment. We have someone who would like to.
Well, this is Beth from the Rotary to
Right.
talk about the planters. So, yep,
Yes.
that's going to be our public comment apparently.
I don't have good news, but I'm just sorry to apologize. Everything is just taking forever. But I don't know where I left it last,
Okay.
but it's gone through several permutations. And we're blessed that right before I signed out for having an Eagle Scout sort of redo what we already have, we got help back from AZAC and they're donating this. Now, the problem is there's no such thing as blueprints for there, and what they have to do in their spare time is to engineer these. So they have their project manager and their engineers working on this. There are no, like I said, blueprints from them. I did send a copy of what I want, which is. Here's it. This is what we're aiming towards. It has a rainbow on it, and that's it, just plain composite. What we're hoping for is that this TimberTech is AZAC's company, but I don't know if they produce in Scranton. But this is, it'll be like a composite decking. Like this.
Oh,
We get, and I like the light blue, which is Park Summit's color, which is about this, it's actually their coastline gray,
Okay.
but
that's fine.
we get what we get. It's whatever's running off the production line, and they can make some extras.
Sure.
So
If they're generating or donating, that's
Exactly.
hugely generous of them. That's
And that's coming from AZEC?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. On Kaiser Avenue.
Yeah.
Very good.
I did look into commercial equivalents, and they're $1,200 each.
Mhm.
And yeah, and there's a 12 to 16 week delay. That's probably one of the problems at AZAC. Everything is just behind.
Yes, that's true.
Production of materials is way, just awful. Now, what they're doing is I think of it as 3D printing these, but they have to put the blueprints in a computer, and then they're making the blueprints, but everything's gonna be made out of plastic except for the screws. So if you, pretty much all this stuff,
Right.
but the screws.
Well, they're gonna be weatherproof.
Yes, it's gonna be the composite decking. We couldn't get like an architect firm. We did have them look at it. We can't put them together using the composite decking because we can't, they're too heavy. And they're not meant to, like, these are, you notice. They're meant to be, this is where the weatherproofing is.
Right.
So you can't put them this way and you can't put them this way.
Mhm.
So they are going to have to completely design these, and like I said, I think I just think like they're gonna 3D print them.
Mm.
That's not actually what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But that's what's taking so long. And they have the good news is, in addition to the paint manager who I'm in contact with, there is an engineer and a project manager who are also from Clark Summit and are also very enthusiastic about getting this done. So it's gonna get done. When it's gonna get done, I'm sorry I have no idea. I did play.
How many are there?
There are 10.
Oh, 10.
garbage. Yeah. Yes, 10 garbages, 7 trash, 7 planters. 7 trash and 7 planters.
My only addition to this is to keep in mind that the composite decking is very flammable.
Is it really?
Yes.
Well, they make it out of plastic too.
Well, If
Yeah.
it's gonna be made out of the composite decking, like Trex,
Mhm.
it's very flammable.
Oh,
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot. And when it goes quickly.
oh, that's good to know. I was warned that this is one of the things I needed to address with you, is that they're going to be much lighter than the wood ones that we have here. So they need to be either attached to the sidewalk or chained to something, and that's gonna be something that you guys are gonna have to do.
Mm.
But the material will be, you could put screws in them. So I don't know how you wanna weight it down.
Might not be a bad idea either to get the base, size of the base
Mhm.
and see if somebody can maybe manufacture or precast concrete to put in the base. So that when they're set in place, then you could put a concrete base, maybe 2 or 3 inches thick. And that would compensate for the weight.
That's not something we could do. We don't have the funding or the,
Mhm.
yeah.
Just a,
Yeah. Mhm.
maybe the people that are designing it could mention that to them and say, what could we come up with in that idea?
Yeah,
Okay.
and when they have the final dimensions, if you get them to me, I can see what we can work around with,
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
I will get the drawings to you as soon as I get them. We're-
whenever that is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
that's a great idea too.
yeah.
Yep.
So that's mostly, that's all I really have regarding the actual thing, but I would like you, if you don't mind, to pay for and get the actual garbages cans that are in there. They're about $70 each.
Sure.
Here are the ones that I sent them dimensions on. It's a standard 32 gallon.
Okay.
And there's the model number and everything on it, so. There's, like I said, there's $70 each. I don't know how many we need. I don't know when we're gonna need them.
And we can probably get them through CoStar's pricing, so maybe we'll even
Yeah.
get them cheaper.
Get them cheaper.
I got time to shop around on that. We need 7, you said.
I don't know exactly how many,
I would-
because they don't. We're working through how many they could do, and so he said, how many, give me a number, give me a number. He goes, why don't you ask for a little more than you need, so I asked for 10 planters and 10.
Beautiful.
So
There
if
you
they,
go.
if they say, okay, we could do 10, I said, well, we don't really need 10, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's always good to have them in reserve.
yeah, yeah.
You never know when a car is gonna
Yeah.
go way late,
Mhm.
take one out.
I will tell you that when there's a hurricane or bad thunderstorms in Disney, those garbages go. They
Yeah.
go right inside, and these
Oh,
are
okay.
light enough that you might be able to.
Because otherwise they fly.
Yeah, they do,
Right.
Yep.
they do. So
Oh, yeah.
that might be something you should
Sure.
consider, you know,
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
Okay, that's that. And the bad news is, of course, because it's taking so long, we're not gonna be able to get any funding to do the boxes that we'd like to hang on the outside.
Mhm.
So it might have to just wait till next year. The deadline for a Rotary district grant is and I can't ask them for what I don't need. I don't know I need.
Yeah.
So I don't wanna just throw a number out there.
Yeah.
We're also going to look at working with the garden club to maintain and do the planting. And that way, if we go through the garden club, we may be able to use funding that we can't use directly. So we're just gonna explore it, but at the same time, we're not real, we don't wanna say, oh, here you go, and then just walk away.
Yeah,
We wanna maintain some sort of, if our name is on this, because what's nice about these is I sent them a high resolution PDF. And they're going to carve Rotary Club of the Abingtons right in it, so there
Oh,
won't
good.
be any,
oh, that's nice.
it'll be completely weatherproof.
Yeah,
And
Wonderful.
yeah, and of course, the AZAC logo would be on there.
That's fine.
And-
Yeah.
Yeah, that-
great.
of course.
Beth, did you have a meeting this morning?
Yes, we did.
My intentions were to be there, but something else came up.
It was fine. It was just the 3 of us anyway, Phyllis Risparsky and Diane Calabro, and we spent some time on this, but mostly just
Yeah,
enjoyed each other company because we don't see each other that often. You know?
yeah.
Okay, do have some problems. We'd like to actually get rid of some of the planters now because there's nothing we can put in there that make them look good.
Yep.
So we're thinking, just get rid of them now and just, if we get them by the summer, we get them. We don't, we don't. We have 4 that we'd like to get rid of. I have a map here that I'll give to you and it says discard. And if we'll put a red ribbon on the ones we'll discard too. So we-
Perfect. And then the
Yeah,
DPW can take them at their convenience and toss them.
Boom, exactly.
Sure.
But it's by the body art and the two that are on State Street by Classic Properties and Bed of Bread,
Mhm.
and then the one for the State Street. We do have a problem. We're getting complaints because our name is on them, of the garbage is not being emptied.
Yep.
You know, so, and I don't know what,
To be fair, they fill up really fast.
oh, yes.
Yeah.
So I don't even know that I don't even know that they're complaining before the trash has even been there. But we harp on that weekly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I don't know if you want to actually either remove one of the two problem ones, because the one in front of City Market and the one by the Highland Tag are perpetually
Yep.
full, and I don't know if there's some way you could discourage household garbage from going in there, because the reports are that people are dumping household garbage in there.
Yeah.
And I think people park there and clean out their cars and dump it
Yeah,
there
you're
too.
right.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they're right next to parking lots, so to
Right.
speak, as opposed to just, yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's about it. And the planters, we're gonna go with different ones if we can get them, and we'd like to fill them and have them look like this. Instead of the big tall ones.
Oh,
plants,
yeah,
just short
Yes.
ones that we could just fill and just have them spill
Oh,
over.
that's
beautiful, yeah,
So that's what
Good.
we're aiming for.
beautiful.
Great.
And that's it.
Okay.
Good job.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, sorry, I not
That's all
calling
right.
say, oh, delivery, but
Did a lot of work.
yeah.
Oh, my
That's
God.
good news.
Yeah.
If you're getting AZAC to donate them, it's worth the wait.
Yeah.
We can't afford it. And even if we fundraise for it, we can't. afford
Right.
that much.
Don't lose the contact at AZAC.
No, I know. I'm sure he might want to, but.
That's better than money in the bank.
Yeah.
Two of the project managers are from AZAC that live up here
A
though.
project manager, an engineer, and the safety manager.
Oh,
I mean, if you
Wow.
wanted to,
Very
give us
good.
their name, we would definitely. acknowledge them.
Oh, yeah.
Thank them on behalf of the borough too.
We'll also make sure that we acknowledge AZAC in our next
and
newsletter.
whoever the plant manager is.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah, don't worry, we'll get pictures out there. I've got my PR guy, my PR lady, I shouldn't say, person.
Yeah.
She's all over it.
Great. Okay. Any information you can get to us, we're willing to acknowledge it too.
Sure, there'll probably be pictures involved, I'm sure.
Good.
Good.
Not my thing, but.
Well, we got it. Suckers here.
Yeah.
Last meeting, Susan. Yeah, I can take pictures of the plans or something.
Okay, great, sounds good.
Great.
Okay,
Terrific.
Well,
Thank you.
very much.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Beth, for all your good hard work on this.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're
Have a
welcome.
good evening.
Thank you. Okay, oh, and Danny, Sarah.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
an
that letter.
email request that we got. Danny lives at 333 Summit Ave.
Yeah.
And she's saying that she's requesting a stop sign there. Now, apparently, just so that you know, Summit Ave has stop signs at each intersection, but Halsted doesn't.
Right.
So what she's looking for is to stop the traffic on Halsted. What I would like to ask council to consider is, first of all, I'm going to ask the DPW or the police, let them know to enforce it. Secondly, I'll ask them if they could throw the speed sentry in there so we can kind of get an idea of what the realistic numbers are with the
Good.
speeding. Because if we wanted to do a stop sign, the first thing we'd have to do is do a study to
Right.
justify it, an engineering study to justify it. And then we would have to pass an ordinance. So it's going to be expensive. Let's get the speed sentry there and find out what the
Right.
numbers are to decide if it's even worth pursuing. So if everyone's okay with that, I'll take that action and then we'll, maybe next month, I'll have all this information for you.
Okay.
So we're gonna do the speed sensor first.
Yeah, speed sentry, yeah.
I think it's probably a legitimate request. I mean, I traveled the road
Right.
myself and yes, I agree with the letter.
The only concern is that legally you can't put stop signs in to break speed.
Yeah.
Has to be justified that there's
Well, it's a safety. issue.
accidents.
It's a
Yeah.
safety issue.
So we need the police, like I said, it needs to be an engineering study and we need to get police reports on accidents. So if the speed sentry shows that we are in fact having speeding issues there, then we know it's justified to pursue it. So that would be good. I think it's a good investment. And in the meantime, it alert people that we're watching it.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay. The next thing on the agenda, I wanted to bring up something. Dave and I have talked about this in the past. We have issues, and I'm going to be specific with one example, but it's not the only example. We have an issue with a homeowner who has like a dozen cars parked on their lawn at any given time.
14.
Okay, and
I know.
there's nothing illegal about it because it is, they're all insured and registered. But my concern is that it kind of defeats the purpose of the impervious surface ordinance. We're trying to decrease our impervious surface so that we can have stormwater controls. And here they're effectively
Going against-
superseding our impervious surface because it's all temporary and movable. And that's just one example. We have other situations with people that are storing stuff under tarps.
Right.
And when it's there for weeks and months on end, that's entirely different from somebody just having a car sitting in their yard because we have extra company this weekend, you know?
Sure.
I have no objection to people having stuff on their yard on a temporary basis, but when it's permanent, you know, I kind of feel like we need to amend our ordinance to define this like coverage, impervious coverage where it is movable, but it's going to have to be rotated and moved in order to continue to qualify or something.
Mhm.
So if you guys are okay with that, I'd like to work with Mary Claire on coming up with some way to do
Yes.
this. Thank you.
Yeah.
Is there something
Absolutely.
commercial going on there, do you think?
No,
No.
No.
So what's why are they there?
don't know. This, I just,
Would seem like something.
the police have been checking them sporadically and yes,
Yeah.
it's just. Some people are, yeah, it's a form of hoarding in this case,
Working.
but they're not. I drive past all of them.
Drop them off.
It's in my neighborhood.
It's the same vehicles. It's always the same vehicles. In fact, it's all the same model,
Yeah.
brand, I mean.
Did we have any progress on the Quonset hut that I said about the other day when I was here?
I-
Did Jen say anything about?
I don't know.
that?
She's been out the past couple of days.
Okay, all right.
She injured her back, so,
Oh, okay.
If the goal is we want to amend the zoning ordinance.
yeah.
Okay.
The definition of impervious to include some kind of long-term temporary situation. Requiring permitting for it and therefore accommodating it somehow.
Yeah, I mean, did SAPA approve, like, are we done with it now? Do we file a final zoning ordinance?
No, the SAPA ordinance, well, I guess there's still one more vote in Scranton. They voted, I guess, just the other night, and one more vote, May 9th, I think is the tentative date. And if all goes well, then they'll be done, and then Dunmore will vote on it, and then it'll be official. But we also have an ordinance that, the SAPA and another zoning ordinance address impervious surface, and both of those. So if we amend the definition of impervious, then it would apply to SAPA and current ordinances as well.
Right.
So we could certainly define, I mean, definition of impervious surface can be independent of the
And-
SAPA ordinance.
And to go a little further, this is only one example. I'm sure there are more than one in the borough.
There
So
are,
It's not that this one residential area is being singled out.
right. No, it's not one person. If it's just the one,
Yeah.
we've been dealing with it for years, but
Yeah.
it's becoming an issue now. We have a house on Carnation that's constantly having stuff stored there. We have a house on Grandview that they just have their backyard entirely covered with tarps, for all intents and purposes.
Sure.
Different situations, and it's just adding up and
What's making the neighborhoods look,
right.
Trans-
Quality of the name.
yeah,
And-
exactly.
And while we can't just say, well, we don't like the look of it,
Yeah.
therefore it's illegal. The fact of the matter is it is bypassing our impervious surface, which we have a legitimate concern for.
Sure.
And frankly, the residents are being negatively impacted by the impervious runoff when they do these things. So it is a legitimate concern and it would kill two birds with one stone.
I think it's definitely a good idea. I mean, the only thing of a
Yeah.
problem is, I mean, when you have like a patio or driveway or like a deck, I mean, that's hard to move. Like, I mean, if you do a notice of violation on 17 cars, they can just take the cars and put them out in the street and then effectively they've remedied it.
And that's
They're
great
back-
until we have no overnight parking on the streets.
Okay.
And that's true, but and like I said, it's just, there's only the one with the cars. There's
Yeah.
just other situations of it, especially the people that hoard stuff in their yards and just cover it with tarps so that you can't see what it is.
Out of
But
sight, out of
still,
mind.
yeah, and yes, they can just keep moving that, but yeah, if it's not easy,
Right.
then that might help them get
But-
control. It might be the incentive they need to
Maybe
be.
something is not a good thing right now.
Right, exactly,
But if
exactly,
we do it the wrong way, it could be considered a spot zoning too.
Yes.
right,
So you don't want it that way.
right,
So it has to be done the proper way,
right,
Right.
so that it's all people concerned.
right. So
And
then
the
I'll kind of,
example house is most of the automobiles are on the lawn or?
Yep.
on the lawn, obviously, anybody.
That before, I think I know exactly.
You
which one
can't, you can't do anything about people that store stuff on the driveway with
Right.
this impervious surface, because the driveway's already
So
impervious.
that's like an
But what's on the
eyesore.
lawn, yeah,
Right, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
okay.
So,
Believe it.
thank you. And one other thing that I just wanted to bring up, that's not on the agenda, but it just came today in the mail, LCOG is going to be meeting Thursday, May 18th. And they're invited, Kyle Mullins, Bridget Kozrowski, Kyle Donahue, and James Haddock to speak. They have to confirm if all or some of them will be attending or not. But if anybody wants to go, I need to make reservations with them for you in advance, and you would need to pay for your meal. It's $20
Is it at the Regal Room?
at the Regal Room. So if you're gonna go,
Yeah.
yeah,
Real good. They've been very had like 2 meals out of it.
I'm gonna tell you, if you're gonna go, it's a Thursday evening. If I don't have your reservation by Friday morning, Phyllis is gonna make my life hell. So please try to get back to me before the Friday before if you're gonna
Virginia,
go.
she's gonna make your life hell.
No.
What day is that?
It is Thursday, May 18th, and it's at 6 o'clock, dinner starting at 6:30. And Friday, it is Friday, May
Cocktails.
12th, I need to know.
Just the appetizer. I'm still thinking about that.
All right, and that covers everything.
Virginia,
Jerry, I only have one thing, if I could.
Yes, absolutely.
Everybody has a copy of the op-eds from the Scranton Times. This came out of Sunday's Times. I don't know how many people read the op-ed in the Scranton Times, but it's concerning the LNG issue that was up in Wyalusing. We voted on it last year to send a letter voicing our displeasure and voicing against the it's the word I want, the permit for the LNG.
Right.
The company is considering reapplying for another permit to the commission. And what I would like to do, as Bob and I were talking here before, it's certainly a matter of everybody's opinion. However, I think in behalf of our citizens in the borough and also the surrounding communities who maybe do not have the voice that we have, that we send another letter to Senator Casey, Fetterman, Representative Cartwright, as well as to the governor, asking them to please not support the issue, to vote against it. On having the LNG coming through our towns and on our rails. They've got numerous piping underground. There's no reason they can't run piping underground to transport the gas from Wyalusing.
It's highly flammable too, right there?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Highly flammable.
Yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yes, it is.
Gonna make
Well,
Ohio look like
it's-
nothing if we have
It-
trains.
It's very similar to what the incident was out in Ohio.
Right.
And we're prime targets because the railroad tracks are less than 500 yards away from here. We had an incident that happened down there. The high rise, the fire company, the neighborhood probably on Powell Avenue, as well as this area here would probably be
Who would
destroyed.
destroy it?
Probably 50% of our town,
Yeah.
considering how small the town is and
Yeah,
how big
exactly.
the explosion could be.
And as I was saying before the meeting started, we were talking here, the fire companies in the area would not be able to control something like that.
No.
So it's in our behalf if we reach out and ask them to please not give them permission.
Mhm.
So I'd like to move that. If anybody has an issue, we can talk about it now, or we can just put it on the agenda for next week, but I'd like to see, us vote on sending a letter in the negative.
If you guys are for that, what I can do, in the past, I've written representing you guys,
Sure.
as a requested counsel.
Yeah.
In this case, I'm kind of thinking, let's reinforce it. Why don't I name each of you individually and you can each sign it?
Sure.
So I'll have the letters prepared for next
Yeah.
week. You can vote to do it and then pass them around and
Yeah.
sign them all.
I'm fine.
Okay.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah,
No
I think
problem.
This, Dave and I, we were discussing a bit earlier, and I do respect Dave's opinion to this and his concern about public safety.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I mean, we're the Borough of Clark Summit. There's DEP, there's environmental protection, there's all these governmental agencies protecting everybody in the community and regulating this industry. So I don't know what, the benefit of us doing that. I guess it's more of a symbolic thing. But I would be opposed to sending a letter. I think I was opposed last time, but I would be opposed again. So that's just my opinion.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Are we still sending the letter?
thank you.
I'm still gonna do
Okay.
it. We'll vote
Yeah.
officially next week, and if the majority vote for it, then anybody that wants to sign it can sign it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks. Vic.
Okay, yeah, and thank you for doing to that, that.
Yep.
Um,
Everybody's opinion counts.
I mean, you're right, that there are a lot of different agencies involved, but us as a borough, I think we want to protect our borough as far as something coming through Rio and all the trucks that come through.
Oh, they're coming through now.
Yeah, but
Right.
by the same token, I think if something happened, it would be, letting you guys do something
Yeah.
about this after knowing what happened in Ohio and Pennsylvania, right on the line. It leaves you with the double-edged sword there, they want to do the right thing.
I can't say it's fact, but I know that the last time this came around, the argument that was presented to me is that the presentation to DEP was going piecemeal. So that each little piece was being accepted, rather than looking at the whole picture. And I think that it's so easy to say, yeah, this little thing isn't dangerous and this little thing isn't dangerous. But once you look at the whole picture, all of a sudden it is the cumulative. So, yeah, I mean, if that's true, I think letting them know how we feel at least alerts them.
Mhm.
And I think it
To
becomes
pay
a
more
gateway
attention.
when you keep saying yes, they want a little bit more and a little bit more. And like
Right,
you said,
right.
it gets out of control.
Right.
Yep.
So it doesn't hurt to let them know how we feel
Feel.
and to remind them to look, keep their eyes open. So, but I do respect your opinion. That's the only reason why I feel that way is because of what was told to me.
Right.
And I don't know it's fact.
And Josh is absent tonight, so he may have a different opinion too.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
all right.
Yep,
That's fine.
no problem.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll vote on that next.
Next week.
Okay.
Mhm.
And we are going to go into executive session.
We're gonna go into an executive session for 2 minutes. We
Okay.
don't need to have this. Originally, it was gonna be an issue. The issue is really resolved, so the only reason I wanna do the executive session is just to bring you up to speed.
Okay.
Okay, and then if there's a potential for something in the future, you're,
Aware.
Okay.
you're aware. Okay, so it'll just take 2 seconds.
Okay.
So,
Well, I motion, back to adjourn.
yeah,
Okay, I motion that we adjourn.
okay. Okay, and it is 7:32.
2 minutes.
Okay, and Ben, do you still need to talk to Jerry more? Because if so, I'm gonna, okay.
Okay.
Then as soon as you leave, we can
We
have
will
our
excuse you.
2-minute session.
Yeah, thank you, Jenny, for interviewing.
Okay, thank you, Ben.
Ben, thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank you.
Yeah, we can,
Okay, let me turn this off.